4 days ago, the NFL and Deshaun Watson worked out an 11-game suspension, $5 million fine, plus a requirement that he be evaluated and engage in counseling. Peter King reports in Football Morning in America that the counseling has already begun. And that's important because when we heard from Watson on Thursday, and Chris, obviously, since you don't work on Fridays, we haven't had a chance to discuss this. We had the written statement from Watson where he takes accountability for his decisions. Then he speaks to reporters and he stands on his innocence. That was alarming to many. Now, as I understand it, it's not all that uncommon for people who have yet to go through the evaluation and counseling to not yet understand why what they did was wrong. The question is, when Deshaun Watson gets to the other side of this process, will he be saying the same thing or will he have seen the light? I said that Friday when Shereen Williams was on the show. If when he's back for his first media availability and Mary Kay Cabot of the Cleveland Plain Dealer says, hey, Deshaun, the last time we talked to you, you said you stand on your innocence. Do you still stand on your innocence? If he says, hell yes, what was gained? Nothing. So this process will go a long way toward getting him to pierce through all of the stuff the enablers around him have been saying. Rusty Hardin, they're all lying. David Mulugeta, the judge was predisposed against him. Pay no attention to her ruling. The other agent in Athletes First who said, well, what about Jeffrey Epstein? Why isn't there more uproar about that? I mean, it's just all this ridiculous noise that keeps Deshaun Watson from having his reckoning. Through counseling, he's either going to have it or he's not. And, Chris, if he doesn't, he may not be back Week 13 against the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully just for his own personal growth, he realizes. Again, it's kind of disgusting, the defense and the people around. That's the problem. Like you said, he's got enablers around him. Mulugeta's still sitting there trying to say who's, questionable human being altogether. He's a spiteful jerk. I'm just going to say it. I don't like him.
Oh, hey,
right.
Whoa,
I don't like him.
That just came out of nowhere. That's not me.
He's done that. It's not cool. And it's not cool, and he had to delete his tweet because it's just not. But it just shows you into their camp there that it's just there's a blindness towards the sensitivity of people. It's just, I don't know what else to say. And it's 68 different therapists at least and all that. Come on, So, yes, he's had people just enabling him. And, yes, a deleted tweet and a guy that, yes, I've seen spiteful behavior from this guy before. So they're all been like, obviously putting on Deshaun on a pedestal and been behind him and like, hey, you're not wrong and you're innocent and blah, blah, blah. So that's where it just doesn't seem cool, and it honestly just adds to the hatred and backlash of the whole Watson camp even more. And hopefully he can see, the light as far as what he's done and how he's made so many people uncomfortable and really maybe ruin their lives to a degree in a lot of ways. So, hopefully this counseling can help him.
I need to say this to be fair. David Mulugeta is a very accomplished, successful agent.
I know he is.
He's still a young guy. He's written a first-person essay that we posted at PFT in the past. Now, so I don't have any pre-existing bias against him. I liked him based upon what I knew of him before this. Now, during this process, I'm not real thrilled with the way he has conducted himself because he's been part of this machine of they're all lying. Why aren't you developing evidence as to why they're lying? Why aren't you more concerned about the things that are out there that are inconsistent and that would show that they're lying? And my position all along has been, that's not for me to do. That's for you to do. If you got a smoking gun, let's see it. That's what Rusty Hardin needs to develop and show. Because he's going to have to show it to a jury at some point anyway. Show it to us now. Show it to the jury in the court of public opinion and let us come to the conclusion as to whether or not they are lying.
Yeah.
And when the NFL, and maybe their beef is with the NFL Players Association. When the union comes out the night before the Judge Robinson decision and says, we're prepared to accept whatever she does, and we're not going to appeal it, and she issues a suspension that supposedly the NFLPA likes, now you're throwing dirt at her ruling and saying that she had her mind made up from the get-go and she's just parroting the NFL's narrative? That doesn't make sense.
No, it's not cool. And, I know those aren't your views. I know I went hard. They're my views.
Right,
and I know some other things, too, where, he's jerky.
Tell your dad I said hi.
Sorry, yeah, exactly. He's jerky. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I know that's my views, and I'll take that on the chin if it comes back to me. No worries.
And anytime I say the words, tell your dad I said hi, that's a reference to Jim Harbaugh when Chris interviewed him years ago. And Jim didn't like one of the very reasonable questions that was posed by Chris.
Right.
The interview ended, and Jim said, tell your dad I said hi.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.